All right, motherfuckers, we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Keyboard Warriors. We are the Keyboard Warriors, presented by RepTheWarriors.com. My name is Eddie Law. That's Fred Kirby. That's Jesse Ruakawa. And we're kicking it off talking with, that's Paige Van Zandt going to bare knuckle fighting. Paige Van Zandt's going to the promotion where, who we got over there? The Executioner. We got Malinaji, how do you say his fucking name?
Yeah, I don't think Malinaji's there. I think that was
You got
No.
the GOAT.
We got the GOAT. I forgot his name. I just call him. I literally call him McGregor's butt boy.
Lobov.
Artem Lobov's over there, and
Jason Knight.
Jason Knight. That's a legit name over there. That's for sure. But Paige fucking Van Zandt moving over to bare knuckle fighting turns down a Bellator deal. Fred, what is this about, really?
Okay, two takes here. A, how the fuck am I not an MMA manager by now? Like, how are all of us not managing some fighters? On the surface, this seems like one of the dumbest moves ever. I don't understand this. Like, to the best of my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, boxing is not even her strong suit, right?
Nope.
She's like karate-based, kind of grapple-heavy, wrestle kind of kickboxer broad, right?
Right.
Like, she's never been known for having fucking nasty hands. We know, right. All jokes aside, we know that she gets a little bit of her income and a little bit of her notoriety from being a pretty blonde.
Right.
All jokes aside, this is a horrible idea, no? Now, maybe there's something we're not getting, right? Maybe there are stipulations in the contract. Like, A, she's probably getting paid a fuckload of dough. Maybe she gets to pick her own opponents. Maybe, you know what I mean? This makes zero fucking sense to me on any level. Bare knuckle fighting? What the fuck? I would have rather seen her sign to fucking what's a fucking alternative B-level wrestling fucking thing? ECW, WCW, or whatever. Right. I don't even know what the fuck the equivalent is. I would have rather seen her go there. Bare knuckle seems like, I mean, look, I think we all thought Bellator, right? Boom, Scott Coker, fucking slam dunk. Okay, that didn't work. Well, then, of course, she'll slide over to One, right? Or Risen, and she'll get that money with Sage and them, right? Boom, no. Bare knuckle fighting? This is the fucking weirdest possible choice she could have actually made. So I'm assuming there's got to be something that we're just not seeing here.
It's got to be. Maybe the pay, maybe something else. People were making the joke that she should sign on OnlyFans, and I jokingly agreed. I was like, she should, but it's a weird thing, especially, Jesse, coming from someone that said that they make more money from Instagram than they do fighting in the UFC.
Yeah, maybe this is one of those things where she's trying to prove that she is a fighter. Because if you're going to go to bare knuckle fighting, you're going to be in fights. Like there's not going to be no gimme fights there. You're going to get beat up. Your face is going to get jacked up. It's not going to be pretty for you over there. So it almost seems like she's like, look, I'm a real fighter. I want to go where I can really prove that I'm a real fighter, and to shut up people like us, I guess, that just talk crap on her and think she's just a pretty face, right? Maybe that's her goal. And like Fred said, it doesn't make sense, because if she's a pretty face, there's other things that she could be doing other than getting punched in that pretty face, especially because who's over there? Like Beck Rawlings is over there, right? At bare knuckle fighting.
Make that fight. Fuck it. No, Beck Rawlings is Beck is at Bellator, isn't she? Or is it the other way around? Whatever happens. I mean, Paige is now. She's like there. I don't know. Do you think maybe it's because like she's like a name and people are gonna go watch like one or two fights of hers?
Yeah. Yes, of course. I see why bare knuckle signed her. I just don't fucking know why Paige
she did
would do that. Yeah, or and to Jesus's point, if that's what she thinks, if she thinks that this makes us think she's a real fighter, she's fucking gone on them Zans, Jack. Like, listen. Look, we can bag on the UFC all we want. At the end of the day, anybody who knows their ass from a hole in the ground knows that's where the big dogs play. Like, you can hang out in Bellator, you can hang out in ONE FC. They've got some good fighters, blah, blah, blah. If you want to prove that you're a great fighter, you go to the UFC. You do not go from the UFC to bare knuckle. Now, that might prove that you got some balls, but to what end? I mean, listen, at the end of the day, let's keep it a buck. It takes some fucking balls to compete in MMA, period.
Hell yeah.
If you went to Risen and fought abroad over there, I don't think any of us would be like, oh, she's not really tough. She's not a real fighter. Or I definitely don't think her doing bare knuckle is going to make us think that she's fucking some brutally. I don't know, man. This is just the weirdest decision in the world. I mean, obviously she got the bag thrown at her.
Oh, for sure.
But how much is it to, I don't know, literally kind of risk your career, dude? Like your face is probably going to get fucked up, even if you win the fight, man. Bare knuckle rips your face apart. Like, how does she not get out of this with a big scar on her fucking face?
Right. Otis, what's up? We'll get to your winner and loser of the weekend real quick in a second. Raider, what's going on? But Otis says Paige is getting that bag though, so there's a win there. It's the only reason she really should be doing anything there. Raider says she should do Cam Soda. They have like a bullshitty little fighty thing, right? Like they do boxing or something. I think Cam Soda did a boxing card once or something.
What are you thinking about? The lingerie MMA or what?
Something like that. Cam Soda is like just cams, I guess. Like, I mean, it's been around for way longer than like OnlyFans and shit, but they do like live like streams of chicks like diddling themselves and shit.
Oh,
but I thought Paige Van Zandt would go to ONE FC before bare knuckle. I thought she'd go to Bellator, but she skipped Bellator.
Well, right. To Otis's point, I figured if not Bellator, then definitely ONE FC or Risen, or at the fucking very least the PFL, right? Like bare knuckle was on the bottom of the fucking list. Real dude, all bullshit aside, real talk, I would have assumed that she would have tried to do, I don't know, glory kickboxing or professional boxing before bare knuckle. I mean, that was literally my last pick. Like, I'm still kind of surprised that this is actually legit.
It doesn't really.
Combate America?
Something.
Real talk, yeah. Dude,
honestly, I think she would have gotten her ass up there too, but it would have been better than fucking bare knuckle. Paige might quit bare knuckle fighting after her first fight when she suffers all that damage to her face. I'm saying that's all I thought immediately as soon as I saw the headline, and I'm like, she's about to go get her face scarred like a Diaz brother. It's fucked up.
But all due respect, what a dumb bitch. I mean, like, okay, I was like a bare knuckle fighting championship fucking fight. I mean, or whatever, a bare knuckle fucking fist fight.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get my face busted up, win, lose, or draw. And then I'm gonna be like, oh my God, no, I shouldn't do this. Let me go do something else. Are you fucking high on drugs? Like, dude, listen, you're definitely, I mean, look, I suppose there's always the chance that she pulls what was that fucking Brad Pitt in the movie? Fucking Snatch.
Oh,
she like walks in and lands one shot and like, yeah, maybe. Yeah. But like 9 out of 10 times, dog, you're gonna get punched in the face, and you're gonna bleed. Even if you win the fight, you're gonna get scarred up. I mean, you know, let me ask you cocksuckers this, and this goes for everybody watching right now. In the comments, let me know what you think. We're all saying she got the bag thrown at her. What's that mean? What do we think? What do we think bare knuckle is paying Paige Van Zandt to come fight in a bare knuckle fist fight? What do we mean by that? 100 grand, 200 grand, 250 grand? Like, and this is just for the like what bare knuckles paying her, not what she'll make in endorsements or any of that other bullshit. What do we think she's actually getting? Because I mean, what the fuck? Like, yeah, she's getting the bag, but then again, they ain't paying that hoe no $1 million. I mean, 100 grand, 150, 250, something like that. 200 grand, maybe $250,000. What I would guess.
Can they afford that?
I mean, dude, they gotta be paying her at least that, right? 100 grand at least. Like that bitch ain't taking a bare knuckle fucking fist fight for fucking 50 to show or no shit, is she? So
I'm looking. I just literally typed up bare knuckle fighting's, championship payouts. Jason Knight said he was getting paid more in bare knuckle than the UFC. Now this is a quote from this article. It says, he made $36,000 in his last fight, which was a loss. And then he's heard like he was gonna fight Artem Lobov. He said he heard he was making 50 grand to fight him, and then he was gonna make 6 figures in 3 fights. 50 grand for a bare knuckle fight for a girl like Paige, who said she was making more on Instagram than in the UFC. Like, I'm with you. I don't understand it. It's got to be something else with it.
But then, so here's the deal, right? If that's 50, let's double it, because she's a bigger name than fucking any of those characters. To be fucking honest, like, dude, literally. She was on that fucking Dancing with the Stars shows, right? Or one of those shows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Reality shows. So, I mean, she's a big fucking star, but
let's
say 100 grand.
Here it is. Here it is. So this is from MMA Clickbait. Sorry, MMAfighting.com. says her new contract. This is quote. Bantam's new contract with the Bare Knuckle promotion is a 4-fight deal that's worth over $1 million with incentives. The president David Feldman confirmed after an initial report to ESPN.
But that's $1 million over the course of four fights, right?
where you're gonna get your face destroyed.
That's still fucking $250,000 a fight, though. Like guaranteed money, I guess, with incentives.
With incentives. So whatever those incentives really are, who knows? She's got to hit those.
It's probably just numbers. Like
right.
You know, if we fucking put you on pay-per-view, you got to hit at least 100,000 buys or whatever the case may be.
Right, Jesse?
No, I mean, at that price, I mean, I think most fighters would probably take that deal, right? Like, you know, again, I still think that it has a lot to do with how people talk about her, you know, because think about it. Had she gone to Rizin and she gets, you know, kind of fluffy fights over there, people are just going to be like, oh, yeah, she went to go get paid. She's not a real fighter. I kind of feel like she feels like she needs to prove that she's a real fighter. And I don't think anybody here denies that she's a real fighter. I mean, she's been in the UFC. She's been in some grisly fights. She's broken her arm in the middle of fights, you know, and still fought. But, you know, I think she's got like a chip on her shoulder and she's trying to prove that.
Which would be really ironic because, I mean, the bitch fought Michelle Watterson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now you're going to go to Bare Knuckle and you're going to fight some hoes that ain't none of us ever heard of before. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you a fighter. You went in and fought, you know, some of the best, absolute fucking best female fighters on planet Earth. You ain't about to gain my respect by bare knuckle boxing some hoe that ain't nobody ever heard of before.
So she's got in the UFC, she's got wins over Kaylin. I remember that fight, her first fight in the UFC. She's got wins over Felice Herrig, Alex Chambers, Beck Rawlings. With that, she's the one that did it. She did a switch kick on her and knocked her the fuck out. And then she's got the armbar win over Rachel Ostovich. She's lost to Hebaz, Rose Clark, Michelle Watterson, and Thug Rose. She's not, and Tisha Torres and Invicta. She's not like trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand this whole, in her own mind, this whole like I gotta prove I'm a fighter. She fought a couple of she fought at least one champion.
She fought the best of the best. Shit.
Yeah.
Thug Rose, Michelle Watterson. I mean, she fought some fucking killers, dog.
And she only lost to the killers. She didn't lose to any, you know, shitheads. You know what I mean?
Right, so, exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. Weird decision.
Okay. Let's get through the rest of the patrons and comments real quick, and then we'll move on to last weekend's card. Bare Knuckle doesn't wear 4-ounce gloves, just hand wraps, right? Exactly. Except it's just boxing and there's no elbow shit like that. Or anything. Pornhub contract this guy. She's getting paid pay-per-view points too. I don't know how many pay-per-view points you can get with bare knuckle fighting. I've never paid for one allegedly.
Yeah, stop it.
Isn't it like $10 or something, or $20 to get their pay-per-view?
I've never even.
They ain't getting 50.
I never even looked.
Yeah,
honestly, Paige could have went and been a model or some ambassador for a female clothing brand and made way more money. So I'd love to hear like an honest interview from her where she says, you know, exactly why she did it. But
I mean, I would imagine it's probably cash. Now that I think about it, Bellator probably only would have been in for about 50 bands a fight. If she's making $250 a fight, she's probably like, fuck that. I go to Bellator and I fuck around and lose my first fight. I'll go out of Bellator making a couple $100,000 with a couple fights. This is $1 million guaranteed. Fuck it.
Yeah. She's better than a whole lot of cans that we got in the women's divisions right now. Right. She just never fought. She just kept getting fucking injured. So that was bad. Like,
let me ask. No, I was going to ask, do you think what happened to Benson Henderson over the weekend and how we've kind of seen what happened to him at Bellator, do you think that kind of could have made up her mind of being like, dude, I'm going to go over there and I'm basically going to be, well, this is a UFC caliber fighter and we're just going to like beat you to hell and, you know, kind of push you out there to boost up the champions that we have?
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
You never know, man. I mean, who has gotten from the UFC to Bellator and did really well besides like Ryan Bader, Matt Mitrione?
That's it.
Something like Machida had some success. A few guys did okay here and there, but I mean, yeah, your point's taken.
Musashi.
I mean,
saying? Like,
to be honest though, that could be, you know, a credit to the UFC
for sure.
Knowing when to hold them and knowing when to fold them. Like, clearly, when they send you their fighters, they're a little fucking out of date. Like
they somehow, the UFC has it, and we've seen it time and time again. The UFC has this knack of knowing when fighters are done and at the elite level, and they need to move down, or at the UFC level anyway, and they need to move down. They just somehow almost always call it right.
The UFC's also got a really unique point of view to where they can actually do this kind of thing, like with Corey Anderson, right?
Right.
Perfect time to let Corey go, because here's what's going to happen. Either two things are going to happen with Corey, right? Either one, he goes over to Bellator and loses a couple fights and fizzles out, and then the UFC's like, yeah, see, motherfucker, you weren't worth nothing what you thought you was anyways. Or best case scenario, he wins a few fights, gets the belt, defends it a few times, in which case, guess what's happened? We all want him to go back to the UFC. We all want him to fight John Jones. At the end of the day, it always, like Michael Chandler's fucking contract just came up or something, right? What's everybody talking about? Is he gonna go to the UFC? Is he got
right?
There ain't no sense in denying it, dog. Like you ain't got to go there. Fedor's proof of that. But like you're gonna want to at some point. You're gonna want to. Even Corey Anderson, you're probably gonna want to go back at some point, dude.
But I think there's some stubborn people out there like Michael Chandler. I don't see that guy making that decision to jump to the UFC unless his first fight is going to be for a title.
Oh, well, he can hang that up. He's in the wrong division unless he wants to cut down to 45.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously. We'll see about Michael Chandler. We'll talk about Michael.
He ain't getting that.
No, we'll talk about Michael Chandler here in a little bit, maybe. We'll bring it back up. Just backtrack all the way back to Otis's winner and loser of the weekend. All right, Otis. Who is your loser of the weekend, and how is it not Omari Akhmedov for the worst fight IQ in the year 2020? In the year 2019 and 2018, too.
No.
Out of here.
The worst. That wait, hold on.
That's the guy Weidman beat.
Okay, yeah. No, the loser of the night is Weidman. Let me tell you something. He could take that fucking win and stick it right in his piss hole. That didn't do shit for me. What the fuck? I didn't come away from that fight. After that win, now I'm ready to see Weidman. Who are you gonna fight now? They talking about he fighting gonna fight Luke Rockhold or some bullshit like that. Yeah, maybe. I tell you what, you know what I want to see them do with Chris Weidman? I want them to give Chris Weidman a top 5 guy. Give Chris Weidman Robert Whittaker. Know what I'm saying? Listen, either you can fucking swim with the Sharks or you can't. That fucking bullshit lamprey horseshit win that he got on fucking Saturday night, you can take it and give it to the fucking Indians. That, if I'm a Chris Weidman fan, that didn't do fuck all for my confidence in him going forward. He won that fight by a cunt hair, and he hung on like fucking George St. Pierre late in his goddamn career in that third round.
Dude, I'm 100% with you. When he won that fight, I was sitting there staring at the TV going, just waiting, like, you're going to retire, right? You're going to retire, right? He's like, I'm going to make another run the title. I'm like, fuck. All right, now they're going to give you to anybody, and you're going to get murked hard, and now we got to see you go off on your CTE ass over to Bellator.
Or, to be fair, you'll shut me the fuck up. I'll eat my humble pie, and you'll do your thing. But sink or swim, motherfucker. I don't want to see you fighting no more unnamed Russians. Yeah. Let's go. You think you want to run the title? All right. Boom. Here's Robert Whittaker. Let's see what you got. I know we're not going to get that fight. I know they're not going to do it. But, like, I want to see him thrown in the deep end of the pool. Let's see if you can do it, buddy.
Respect to everything he's done in his career, especially in the UFC and everything. And it's great. He's beaten the greatest probably middleweight of all time at the very least. Excuse me, greatest middleweight. But goddamn, like, I do not want to see Chris Weidman get knocked the fuck out again and be like, oh, I'm coming back. Like, no, dude, what the fuck? Like, at some point, you got. I know. I'd like to think that fighters care about their legacy a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this really about? Now, I'm also not going to be the one to be, hey man, you got to retire. I always say I would like to see someone retire. Like, maybe they should think about it, but I'm not going to be like, they should fucking retire. This guy, I would like to see retire. Like, fuck.
No, honestly, this is why I love Bellator and want to see. He don't got to retire. It's like one of those things where it's like, you ain't got to go home. You just got to get the fuck out of here. Like, you ain't got to retire. You just don't need to be in the UFC no more, bro. Like, you ain't. What are you going to do? It's a whole bunch of motherfuckers in Bellator right now that you fought, Chris, that couldn't really make it like that. I mean, it ain't really no shame in it. It's just the way that it goes. He won that fight. It was super boring. He pulled off it was, I think everybody had Chris won the first round. Yeah. And then the Russian cat won the second round. 1-1 going into the third. Chris gets a bullshit takedown. He basically hangs on for fucking dear life. And you know what he did that I fucking hate? A little fucking pet peeve. And listen, I get it. Listen, welcome to the Keyboard Warriors, cocksuckers, where we talk shit from our fucking couches. I get it. I know they'd all pound the fuck out of me. Go blow me. But you know what bugs the fuck out of me? You know what grinds my gears? Is when they fucking sit there, fucking belly to belly, chest to chest, just holding that position for the last 2.5 minutes, and they hear that fucking that little click, and then here they come. Here they come with the fucking 10 seconds left. Man, you should have did that a minute and a goddamn half ago. And you might have actually got a fucking finish or actually made him bleed. The last 10 seconds, he wants to start throwing heavy yell. I fucking hate that shit. Don't hold him for 2.5 minutes, and then the last 10 seconds, you want to start bracing up and going for it, for fuck's sake.
He sat there trying to force the arm triangle for like a fucking legit, like almost 2 minutes. And I mean, you know, we're watching in my place, and everyone, you know, people in my, you know, like my kids are watching with me. They're asking me like, why does he keep trying to do the same fucking submission? He could really switch this. And I'm like, because you got to look like you're doing something so they don't stand your ass up. And that's what I thought he was doing.
Well, I think a little bit of that too comes with his lack of confidence as he's getting older. Right. I think he thinks that's my bread and butter. That's my one. I need to catch it. He ain't got the confidence to be like, all right, fuck it, let me go for this Kimura. All right, fuck it, let me switch and go for this heel hook. Right. Fuck it, let me go for, like, you know, that old school John Jones swagger that you just fucking are flowing. And those are the guys that are dangerous. And we'll talk about it here a little bit later in the show. But that's what makes Sean O'Malley. Like, he gets in that weird zone, man, where he's flowing. And that's when guys are really, they fucking enter the matrix on you, Jack.
Right. And I mean, you know, fuck it, whatever. I'm me personally, I'm done with Chris Weidman. Jesse, you have something on Weidman?
No, but by the sounds of it, I mean, I think Fred hit it right on the head. I mean, it's a confidence thing for this guy, right? Like, every fight he's been in, he's been winning, and then something happens, like a mistake, a lapse in intelligent fight IQ, you know, or you know, it's like a weird thing with him. And I think at this point, he's at that point where, like Fred said, he doesn't have that like confidence in himself. So maybe getting a little win under himself and a little wind in his sails, maybe he'll become more confident, kind of like when he fought Anderson Silva, right? When he went into that fight, he had all the confidence in the world that he was going to knock out Anderson Silva, and he did. So maybe after a win, he can get this confidence back. But I mean, what is he, 4-1 in his last 5 fights?
1-4.
So yeah, there you go, 1-4. So I mean, poor guy, man. I kind of agree with Fred. If you're just gonna do the lay and pray and hold people down and not do anything, I mean, Bellator's got, you know, some fighters that maybe you could beat up over there.
Yeah. All right. The other one for Otis. Oh, who's your winner of the weekend, and how has it not been? Neil Darius with a spectacular, mind-blowing spinning backfist knockout. The knockout was dope. My favorite part of that knockout was after, I don't know when the fuck he said this part, but I remember seeing a clip on YouTube. He said that he got the idea. His son's friend, who plays UFC 3 or 4, whatever the fuck we're at now, told him, hey, you should try that in a fight because it works really well in the video game. This motherfucker pulled it off in the fight. That shit to me was more mind-blowing. He took, I don't know how old this kid is, but he took some like 10-year-olds or 13-year-olds fucking advice and won with that shit. That was dope.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first time we've had a spinning back fist walk-off knockout?
In the UFC?
He pulled a Mark Hunt, didn't he? Kind of spun around, thunderstruck him, and walked away hey, Jack, hey, you don't need another one. That was the end of we've seen a few walk-off KOs. I think Cody Garbrandt maybe most recently might have fucking did but like I don't think we've seen a spinning back fist fucking walk-off KO. Mm-hmm. That was some fucking swag from Beneil, man. And what was that, 4 or 5 in a row for him? That's also, is it 55 or 45?
Ooh. Oh shit, we lost Jesse. I'm not 100% sure. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Where's he at? Is it the fucking so many fighters on deck nowadays? Ain't like the old days.
Lightweight.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. So he's 55. Bleh. So that kind of, for anybody that's at 55 nowadays, I almost feel bad for you. It's like if you was playing in the NBA during the Jordan era and the Barkley era. Like, you could have been really good, and you just ain't gonna be able to cut the mustard because you're playing against motherfucking Michael Jordan day and Larry Bird day in and day out. Like you just got born in the wrong era, bro. Like 55 is a fucking Shark Tank right now, man. Benil's really tough, but
yeah. It just and that's why it's like the perfect fucking analogy. How many guys didn't get titles because of Jordan? How many guys ain't gonna get titles because of Jones, because of DJ for a long time, because of fucking GSP? Yeah, I can name a million. So,
and the problem with 55 is right now you got Khabib, but even if you lose, fucking Connor or fucking Gaethje, either way, it's it's gonna be you know how much fucking crazy shit would happen for fucking Benil to win the belt at 55. Nothing's impossible, but how many murderers he's going to have to get through to get to that belt just because of how deep 55 is. It's fucking scary.
Right. All right. Moving on here. Ooh, let's see. Trying to catch up on the comments. Weidman was always seemed like to me like a guy who got the belt because Anderson was bored.
Call me crazy. Mm-hmm. I want to see that trilogy.
I'm okay with it at this point. Shit. Why not? Why not do it?
Right, call me crazy. Like that's one fight I don't actually mind for Weidman. I wouldn't mind seeing the fucking Anderson trilogy.
Weidman had a great career. I think he should retire. Me too. He thinks he's Rocky. He kind of sounds like it. That's what right when he talks, he sounds just like him. I'm like, dude, Rocky and Rocky 5. That dude couldn't fucking open his eyes without seeing a flashback of Drago knocking him the fuck down. God,
you're still talking about Weidman.
Oh, we'll go through the questions now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Comments.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Let's see. Weidman and Rockhold are in the same boat of Lost Battalion.
And that's the fight that everybody keeps mentioning is Weidman Rockhold. So
let me ask you this: who do you think's going to have more brain damage at the end of their career? Do you think Gaethje or do you think Weidman?
Oh, Gaethje for sure.
Gaethje's already got it.
At least Weidman showed that he will wrestle you, Jack. Weidman will flat lay and pray if he's got to. He showed, to Gaethje's credit, he's shown no propensity to wrestle, even when he's getting fucking thunderstruck. He just keeps on fucking swinging like a maniac.
Yeah. What's up, Brando? Darius is in the Spinning Shit Hall of Fame with Matt Brown, right?
Okay. Maybe Matt Brown did.
I think Matt Brown got one.
Walk-offs.
Yeah. Y'all see the video where Nick is saying, fuck that best 12 shit, drinking from a bottle of something that has his and Nate's face on it? I did not see that video at all. I have no idea what you're talking about. Fuck that best 12 shit.
A little weird. It's best.
You know what? Hey, send me tweet me the video. I don't know what you're talking about.
Calling it best 12 is fucking hilarious, though.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Let's see. Rest of the fights this weekend. We pull up the fucking card, but before we move on to this weekend's card, which I'm already seeing in the chat, people are calling weak.
How dare they?
I know. Yana Kunitskaya bore the shit out of us with the win over Stoliarenko, but she won. Darren Stewart with the first round submission. I was dope. And of course, Derrick Lewis, second round knockout over Alexei Oleinik. I thought when the fight went to the ground and Oleinik swept him, I thought I was like, ooh, it's over. It's fucking over. Fucking he's about to take his arm, his leg, and he couldn't do it. Credit to Lewis.
Yeah, I was just going to say the most impressive thing about this fight for me, Derrick Lewis got a knockout early in the fight, first, second round. Of course he did. Derrick Lewis is motherfucking terrifying, and if that damn dude hits you, you are fucking curtains.
Yep.
But what really impressed me is the fact that the first round did not go his way at all. He got taken down. Fucking Oleinik got good position, side control. Derrick, could have been fucked. And I might be mistaken. I'd be blown a lot, but he took him down early in the first round, right? He had him down several times. It wasn't like Derrick Lewis was only on the mat for a hot second. Derrick Lewis low key spent a lot of that first round on the mat, right where Oleinik wanted to fight. And the fact is, Oleinik couldn't do nothing about it. Maybe I don't know. Is Derrick Lewis's submission defense underrated, or was Oleinik maybe just a little teensy bit overrated in how dangerous he was with his submissions?
Right. What's up?
No, I think you're right for that. A lot of people take Derrick Lewis for granted in his wrestling. Most of the time that we've seen his wrestling look like trash, it's usually around the times where his back is at its worst. and he can't really sprawl. But if you notice in a lot of the fights where he fights wrestlers, even with an injured back, like he's really good on defending himself and finding a good position not to get taken down or even to get back up. Most of the times when he looked like trash on the ground, it was because either he was just really, really tired, and even then he would find a way to sweep and get back up, or his back was just so jacked up that he would just kind of let those takedowns happen so he wouldn't have to put too much pressure on his back. But I think now that he's a little bit lighter and healthier and his back isn't so jacked up, I think we're getting to see like that he's actually a pretty well-rounded fighter.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not like he was necessarily avoiding the takedown.
Right.
He was getting taken down. He was just doing the proper shit on the ground. I mean, they were playing a jiu-jitsu match, and you know, Derrick Lewis was doing exactly what he needed to do to not get caught up in nothing, man. I mean, he, you know, all credit to him. Like, he fucking was on the ground with, you know, a very highly decorated fucking Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt and didn't get submitted. What the fuck? Like, he did his thing. Also, I'll tell you this, Jack. In that first round, Derrick Lewis like hits him with a little judo throw or just a little hip toss. Just kind of bro. How strong is Derrick Lewis? Like, that was not technique. He is just a fucking bear. Olenik's a big boy, and he was just like, yank him. Like he grabbed his little brother and just flung him on the ground, Jack. Olenik's probably like, what the fuck was that? Like, Derrick Lewis is really, really powerful, man. Like,
when he did that shit, I was kind of like, oh, I'm sure not a lot of people knew what they were saying, but I was like, oh shit, he get two. Oh shit, let's go. Like, I was hyped on that. But I gotta say, Lewis swept Olenek twice too. Like, Lewis ended up on top a couple times. He swept him. Now I don't know if Olenek was like doing it on purpose, trying to get in a position for, you know, triangles and whatnot, but still. And then here's another point. Sportsnut 50 on Periscope says Lewis said in his post fight that he was in bad shape during that headlock bulldog choke. Yeah, that looked bad. It was tight. That dude just was like, he was surviving. He was surviving.
Right.
He did well with it. He got out. So
I think that's the thing we're starting to notice about Lewis, right? When he's in proper shape and he's actually, you know, healthy, it looks like he could be one of the, you know, top three guys in the heavyweight division, could even be champ on that special night, right? But like, I think, you know, maybe the Popeyes, you know, the free Popeyes and stuff that he gets and stuff, probably not a good thing for a guy like him. You know, I think if he stays healthy, you know, he could definitely be trouble for the champs at the top.
You know what? It just hit me. You know who Derrick Lewis is? Derrick Lewis is the Cowboy Cerrone of the heavyweight division. He really is.
I never thought of.
He's the guy that if you ain't top 5, he will fuck you up. But it seems like even now, with all this going on, if Derrick Lewis fights any of those top 5 guys, I feel like he still gets that work put to him.
Yeah.
You know, I still like Stipe still throws him a beat, and I feel like DC still throws him a beat. And like, I feel like most of those guys at the top of the food chain, any sort of like fucking really grapple heavy. I mean, it didn't work out with Olenek, but even like, you know, possibly the fucking one tall Josh Barnett, like, you know, anybody like that would probably still be a pretty big fucking problem for Derrick Lewis. What the fuck?
Yeah. Appreciate the comment there, Sportsnut. All right, let's see. Blades versus Derrick Lewis. Yeah, why not?
It would be a good test, I suppose, to see if Derrick Lewis could really, really compete there. But I feel like the problem with that fight is it's probably not all that exciting, and it probably goes down exactly how we all assume, with Curtis Blades out wrestling, getting him down, getting the takedown, working him over. Maybe exciting ground and pound finish if we're lucky. If not, 3 to 5 rounds of fucking horse shit.
Preferably 3. Yeah. Why does he always have to poop post fight? He said it again after this fight. Right. And they're on ESPN Plus. He goes, hey man, I gotta take a shit. And they're like, oh, he's like, oh, I'm on. Oh, my bad. And he just, you know, does his little post fight interview. But yeah, look, man, he's got to take a shit at all times.
It makes sense, to be fair. You're getting hit in the belly a lot. You got a lot of things. Right. That's the adrenaline dump for real.
Seriously.
Have you not seen Creed and Creed 2? Isn't that the big thing where he's like got to take a dump before he goes out to fight?
His first legit fight against, like, I know the story by heart, but his first like legit fight against, like, I think in the number 2 ranked and number 3 ranked, fuck it is, light heavyweight or whatever, and he's like, I gotta take a shit.
It's like everything, right, Eddie? It's like nerves plus like you're probably like haven't eaten well, so your stomach's like all jacked up, and you're just like, ugh.
I'm always like, anytime I've ever been to a fucking tournament, I always have to take a piss right before it's my time to go on the mat. It goes away. It's just nerves, but you're just like, fuck, I gotta go to the bathroom. I almost think it's like your mind saying, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you fucking do this shit? Leave. Here, I'll help you, bitch. You gotta pee or you gotta shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your common sense saying, fuck you, idiot. What are you doing?
It's giving you an excuse. Like, nah, we probably gotta piss, actually, Jack. We should probably
we should probably go do that.
Eddie, that I was listening to somebody talk about that, how like most people that run like marathons and stuff, a lot of them within the first mile they have to pull off and go take a dump because like right away the body just is like, oh dude, we got to take a dump. Like, what the hell?
Like, what are we doing? Derrick Lewis is playing a character. He knew he was on for sure. He knew. He loves getting laughs. That's it. That's him. That's his guy. I mean, that's his thing. I mean, he's a funny guy and he plays it up like so. And it's smart. It's really smart to do. So that's a good point, Sport.
Follow his Instagram. With his always like people getting jacked up, and he's like, they're all right.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Well, you know who I would love to see fight Derrick Lewis next? I know this will not happen. I get it, cocksuckers. But you know who I would love to see fight Derrick Lewis, man? I know I sound like a broken record with this shit.
Oh God.
Yeah. Go ahead.
John Jones.
Yeah.
John Jones, man. I think him going to heavyweight, that would be I realize he probably won't. Maybe he'll get DC or Stipe or whatever, but. Can you imagine John Jones and fucking goddamn Derrick Lewis?
Mm-hmm. You know what though? Off a win, Derrick Lewis off a win, I think that would be a good like introduction to John Jones to the heavyweight division. Wouldn't it be like a dude like Derrick Lewis who has a lot of power, can put people out, just got a KO, and then you get John Jones like, I'm gonna dip my toe into heavyweight and I'm gonna take on a guy that could definitely hurt me if I'm not careful.
Right, right.
That's if he's easing. If that's easing, that's like if you're easing your way into heavyweight. But if you're going to be doing like a money fight where they're talking like the winner of DC Stipe is going to get offered John Jones at heavyweight, like then it's just not that fucking fight. But I know what you're saying. All right, real quick before we move on, who would last longer fighting Derrick Lewis and why? Eddie, Fred, or Jesus?
Fighting Derrick and why?
I would. I'll say.
I'll say Fred, just because Fred would probably like smoke a blunt, probably offer it to Derrick Lewis. He would distract him with like all kinds of stuff, probably talk to him about aliens, all kinds of stuff. And Derrick Lewis would be like, oh yeah, like start talking to him. And then bam, Fred would try to do something, then he'd kill him.
Listen. Height check, boys. We're all on the fucking internet. So how tall are you, Jesus? Don't you fucking lie.
What is it like? What is it, Little Dicky? I'm 5'6", but 5'5" in real life.
yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. So by proxy of size, I'm standing at right around 6 foot. I'm going to assume that I could probably last about 4 seconds longer than you pricks. If I could just grab him and hold on to him, I probably got a little more body mass to just hold on.
I will say this: if I had to rank 1, 2, and 3 who would last longer, I say Jesse lasts longer, then Fred, then me. Jesse on circles around this motherfucker and just gas him out till he passes out from exhaustion. Fred could last long, just like he said right now. Grab onto him, hold on to him. I'm stupid enough to try and fight the motherfucker. So that's exactly what would happen. I'd get knocked the fuck out immediately. Okay, because I'm a ass when it comes to getting in there. As soon as I get in there and I feel good, I'm like, all right, cool, boom, done. All right.
Yeah, there'll be none of that for me. There'll be no dancing. It'll be. You see how Randy Couture jumped on motherfucking James Toney?
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah. Fuck you,
don't
striking,
stop
bro.
Me, baby. Don't stop me. You have to just reach down and thunder strike me like that, and mollywop me, but don't stop me.
100%, dude. Yeah. Started to think Jones will never fight at heavyweight. I still think he won't, but we'll see. That's for another podcast. All right. Let me check some headlines here. Betch Correa got and Evan Dunham canned from the UFC.
Okay. Evan Dunham was still in the UFC?
I didn't know that.
Well, he just fought a couple weeks ago, but he lost.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I mean,
didn't the dude that took the fight on like 3 or 4 days notice also get canned from the UFC
quit.
Just recently?
The kid that quit, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Tai Tuivasa got cut too? The fuck? That's my guy. So he got cut. Evan Dunham got cut. Betch got cut. Did you guys hear about what I'm talking about? Colby and Tyron Woodley apparently going to fight. It's like September. Oh, it is. What is it? September or I think September 19th, something like that. September 9th. You guys hear about that shit?
Yeah, I heard about
working
it.
on
I heard that. Yeah.
So
I thought it was I thought it was a verbal agreement. Nothing signed.
I'm so sick of fucking verbal agreements, but I'm hoping it's a real one.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of smoke surrounding this fight, so I think.
Look,
real talk. I don't know.
Sorry, but real quick, real talk. Is it for either one you care about seeing at this point? Honestly, I mean, Colby maybe, but Tyron Woodley, like another fight you want to see him in. This is the perfect fight for both of them. It's to me, it's for each one. Let's just do it. But we'll see with these verbal fucking fights and shit. But all right, we'll just smoke this fire. The best tactics to fight Derrick is to try and hide behind the referee. It's got to be like Herb Dean, though. Like, you got to hide behind Herb Dean because Herb Dean can at least buy you a couple seconds and get you some. Verbal. Don't think it's official due to some card locations moving around in September, right? No one even knows what, you know.
I do think it will happen, though, to be fair. I do think
so.
that's the fight that it makes a ton of sense for both guys. Lots of heat there. Like, that's probably the fight that we're going to get.
Right. All right. Everyone's kind of trash talking this weekend's card, so let's go ahead and get into it. UFC 252 from the UFC Apex, which means a small cage, which is good for heavyweights. Early prelims is going to be one fight, I guess, on Fight Pass. Oh, excuse me. Chris Daukaus, whatever, against Parker Porter. Then in the ESPN prelims, we got Ashley Yoder against Livia Hinata Sousa, TJ Brown against Danny Chavez, Felice Herrig against Verna Jandiroba, and then Jim Miller, that's the man, against, is it Vince or Vink? Pichel.
It's Vince Pichel from hell or whatever the fuck.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay, listen, I'm still pretty soft right now. I'm nowhere near a wreck.
Right. That's the free shit.
That wasn't much. That wasn't much.
That's the free shit. Here's your $65 or $70.
Now we get fucking cooking with bacon grease.
Right. So John Dodson taking on Merab Dvalishvili.
That's a good fucking fight.
It's a good fight, and it was just announced not too long ago. So I wonder, like, how long these two even got to train for each other. That's a solid fight. Herbert Burns, as brother of Gilbert Burns, taking on Daniel Pineda. He did say that he thinks Daniel Pineda is a more dangerous opponent than the champ, who is Alexander Volkanovski. So He said that. I wonder what he even means by that. I didn't read the article because I was like, whatever, it's clickbaity. But he did say that shit. So, to me, this is a good fucking fight. No one's talking about JDS against Rosenstruik. Like, Rosenstruik's got to come back. He's got to come back from that like fucking quick murder that he got at the hands of Wild Swing and fucking Francisco. And this is the guy to do it against. JDS, who's a technical boxer, has a takedown, has a wrestling, or has a jiu-jitsu, all that. Doesn't really use it very often at all. So this should be a stand-up fight. It's a good fight for him.
I love this fight. I think it's going to be extremely entertaining. I think both guys are, especially JDS. I think JDS knows it's now or never, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he's going to fucking make a run at the bell, I think he's going to come out guns a-blazing.
Right. All right. And then the co-main event, the one everyone's talking about, I tweeted out today because I was working on my picks. And I said, Chito Vera is gonna ruin a lot of people's Saturdays because I'm seeing a lot of hype on Sean O'Malley. Not saying it's not deserved. That man is dangerous, but his best win is Eddie Wineland, who's like how long removed from his prime? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, this is his first real test for O'Malley. I'm excited about that. But to say, in my opinion, that O'Malley's gonna like walk right through Vera is setting him up for failure like a motherfucker. Chito Vera is a bad motherfucker. He's tough as hell. So that's why I'm taking Vera on this one, Fred.
I tell you what, man, I'm a little surprised at how fast they're pushing Sean O'Malley.
Mm-hmm.
And not even, I think Chito's the perfect fight for him.
Right.
But co-main event on this card,
right.
Sean O'Malley must really be doing some. I know he's popular, but wow, this is a huge card for them to give him the co-main event slot. And let's be honest, Marlon Vera is not in the co-main event on this card unless it's against some. The reason that it's the co-main event is all because of the fucking Sugar Show. Mm-hmm. Like, I realized he had this gimmick and the fucking hair and the whole nine. But apparently, it must be really fucking popular. What the fuck? Like, I'm a little. It's a little weird that he's this high on a card of this fucking magnitude.
But he's getting a real push.
Yeah, but here we are. So, if he can come out and finish Cheeto, which would be a big fucking deal, like if he can do that and keep it going, and say the right shit, it is somewhat reminiscent of Conor. It's a
Right.
bit Conor McGregor-ish. Like he's, if the numbers continue to grow and shit, who knows, man? Maybe he could be. I think Saturday night will be very important and indicative to the rest of his career. Like if he can come out and do what he's been doing, he's going to be skyrockets in flight. But if he stutters a little bit on this one, it'll put a little bit of pause on his fucking ascension.
Right. All right, Jesse, any thoughts on this on Sean O'Malley and Vera?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think what people are sleeping on Vera is he's got a lot to fight for. He's got a family. He just has a lot coming into this fight, and he's definitely the perfect opponent to kind of derail Sean O'Malley. Though this could be kind of like what was it? Who was the fight that is Robert Whittaker had before they started pushing him up? Was it?
I don't know.
There was a striker that he went up against that everybody thought that Whittaker was going to get beat, and he kind of like proved that he could actually get through a really top, like a top 10 opponent, and then from then he, they kind of just pushed him up into the rankings, and he, became champ. So I think Sean O'Malley is that this is the position that they have him in. If he's able to get past Vera and look still as impressive as he has, I look for him to get a shot, right after this, probably for the title right afterwards, this could be his shiny moment.
Right. All right. And then of course, I'm starting to see why people think this is a weak ass card for real. But was it the Brunson fight or Uriah Hall?
For who?
For Jesse was talking about Whittaker.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
yeah. It was Brunson. Yeah, it was Brunson.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So Cheeto's no joke and can walk through fire. O'Malley's improving with that, right? He had that one fight where he had to do the interview off his back because his foot was fucked. You gotta take that one into consideration. But it wasn't a Cheeto Vera level fighter, in my opinion.
True.
Head kicks that should have been featured, but not a co-main. I actually agree with that now. I think Sugar's pushing the UFC. Sugar bringing in the younger crowd. I mean, he's got the Twitch thing going. He's got the YouTube thing going. Maybe. Who knows?
Okay, but who would you put as the co-main event then?
Out of this whole card?
Yeah.
I would probably go JDS and Rosenstruck or O'Malley and Vera.
Yeah. That would make perfect sense. And then push, you would think Sean O'Malley. And honestly, I would think this fight would be in that main event on the prelims.
Feature prelim.
The feature prelim. That seems like where they would put this ordinarily. I guess that's why I'm surprised that it's the co-main, especially when you got a fight like JDS and fucking Rosenstruck right below it. But maybe they're just like, fuck that shit. Right now, we need pay-per-view dollars. We know you motherfuckers really want to see Sugar Sean, so we're going to try to make y'all pay.
I think he's gonna prove to be a pretty good draw because a lot of, like I said, all I did was tweet that out, and people were losing their minds. Like back on either side, it wasn't even. No one was saying it's gonna be a close fight. Everyone was like, "Nah, Bear's gonna fuck him up," or "Hey, O'Malley's gonna fuck him up." I think that's gonna be a draw of a fight. I think.
I think the other thing too is you don't want two heavyweight fights back to back because one of them could be a snore fest or both of them could be snore fest, and then you have a really terrible pay-per-view right at the top.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, main event, of course, a trilogy. It will be complete Friday night. Stipe Miocic against Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier talking about win or lose, I'm out of here. Of course, they're gonna throw that money at him if he wins, especially for the John Jones at heavyweight, if it's even a real thing. But this would be me, like the way for DC to go out. I would hate to see DC go out in a loss. You know what I mean? And have to retire that way. I think the kind of guy he is, he thinks about legacy. Like he legitimately thinks about legacy. So I think it's going to be that. It's going to be DC coming out, just, have a smart fight until like third, fourth round. Then he's going to put Stipe down. Stuff early. But I would love to see, me personally, I would love to see DC go out with the belt and then go home. Of course, Ohio boy over here. What do you think?
Same. Obviously, man. I think if DC wins, it's beneficial on a few levels. Because again, who doesn't love DC? It'd be cool to see DC fucking retire with the belt, fucking heavyweight belt, the whole most of it. He deserves it. But B, I think it would make heavyweight extremely interesting. Like,
Right.
I want to see DC win and then ride the fuck off. I don't want to see, the more and more I think about it, even at heavyweight, who gives a fuck? John Jones still probably beats DC. I mean, yeah, we can all sit around like, yeah, but it takes a lot to get to 205, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something, Jack. Didn't take a month to get to 205 for him to not be able to beat AJ twice, to beat us, to beat Tom and Dick and Harry. I mean, John Jones has just got his fucking number. What are you going to do? I don't give a fuck if they fight heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, on Mars, the moon, Jamaica. Like, John Jones is probably going to fucking beat DC. It just fucking is what it is. But DC also has had a fucking storied career. If he can get this win, retire with the belt, that's amazing. Thank you, DC. Go do commentary. Love to fucking hear you there. Perfect all around. And then do a fucking tournament for the now vacant heavyweight belt. Now, I know the UFC probably won't fucking do that because I never get my wishes. But in a perfect world, I would like to see an 8-man tournament for the heavyweight belt, reinvigorate the heavyweight division. And yes, I'm saying it again. I'm harping on it. Suck my fucking dick. John Jones is in the tournament for the heavyweight belt.
Yep.
No DC. You got to earn the belt against somebody you've never fought at heavyweight, John, just like DC did. Fucking please let that happen for me.
Why not, Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Fred. I mean, honestly, I think the only thing that upsets me about this fight is that if Stipe wins, we're just gonna have Stipe as a champ who is not like, he doesn't pop, right? He doesn't make it exciting. He's a dude that just kind of mumbles his way through interviews, doesn't do interviews, and like he's a legit real like hero. He's a fireman in his off time. Like there's a lot that can be gained with marketing Stipe. He doesn't play that game,
right?
So it'd be best if DC won this fight and was able to retire right afterward with the title. That'd be the best. And I really don't think that if DC wins, which is who I'm picking DC. I don't see him coming back for that John Jones fight. I think in his head, I think he's finally gotten past that. And he's like, I'm just going to retire with something that maybe John Jones will never be able to be, which is a 2-time heavyweight division champion. And I'm good with that.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm DC and I win and I beat Stipe, I leave the fucking belt, my gloves, everything in the cage. I fucking look in that fucking goddamn camera and I say, beat that, John. You might have beat me, motherfucker, but beat that. Come get this heavy. I'm leaving it. I'm out of here. I'm going to go get my bread elsewhere, but come get this belt now. And boy, if John did go to heavyweight, if I was DC, I'd have the biggest fucking bucket of goddamn fucking fried chicken. I'd have all the fucking beer and the fucking cake, and I'd just be waiting for John to take that L at heavyweight. Ha! Oh, you cocksucker. You're the heavyweight champion. Suck my ass all the way to the bank, John. Fucker.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Head Kick says DC Stipe is snooze fest. Don't count on it. Don't fucking count on it. The other side of this fight, we're talking DC a lot, but Stipe is a bad motherfucker too. I don't understand why people like. I mean, look, I know Stipe is not the most fun guy to listen to talk, and if you can even understand what he's saying, but the dude can fucking fight. Okay, everyone forgets that he took on Francis Ngannou, and sure, he wrestled him down and took him down a bunch of times to tire him out and shit. But he beat that dude that a lot of people are scared to even look at. So you just look at that game, that part of it.
Well, and here's the thing too. They've had 2 fights.
Right.
Neither of them were boring.
At all.
We've got no indicator to believe that this fight will be boring.
Yeah,
so
it's not going to be boring.
I don't think so.
Even if DC takes him down, it's just beating him up on the ground, it's still going to be a fucking fun fight because I don't think Stipe is going to let himself get fucking handled on the ground like that. Nope. So if you think that Stipe didn't spend his entire camp dealing with high-level wrestlers, you're out of your fucking mind. And he's a wrestler too. Let's not look past that part. Those first 2 fights were all on the fucking feet for a reason. And
Stipe will go for it. Like if he does get held down for a whole round, when that next round starts, he'll come out guns blazing.
Yeah. He'll be like, "Oh, you want to hold me down and hug me? All right, cool. I'm gonna go after your ass first.
Yeah,
win or lose, but I ain't going down. I ain't going out on my back either. What's up?"
I think that's the key thing about Stipe, right? He's really good at forgetting what the previous round was like, whether he won or whether he lost the previous round. Like he comes out like it's the first round of every fight. straight with the strategy, straight with the plan, and just goes with the flow. Like you never see him, even if he's getting like mollywopped. You never rattled. He never like panics. He never like that's what makes him possibly in the future the best heavyweight champion ever, because you never see him get like distraught in there. Like he just goes with the flow. Whatever happens. Next round, new guy, like new fight. So like it'll be interesting.
Right. All right. Other comments here. Still hopes the DC wins. I'm telling you. JDS Rosen Street could have come in, no problem. Highly agree.
Oh, for sure.
Eye poke issue. Look, we'll see. I'm sure Stipe trained that too. Stipe's looking trim on embedded. The weight of both fighters is more important than people think. 100%. DC's going to be bigger, can take more punishment, but he's also got a lot more power with that weight on. Stipe is going to be moving in and out quicker. We'll see what happens with that. But I agree with that. Weight's always a thing. I mean, there's a reason why fighters cut.
Boys, I'll tell you one thing right now. I just don't see Stipe winning this fight. I very well may be hexing DC, but I don't know if y'all. Maybe I need to go back and rewatch the fights because I just don't remember them being close. I remember Stipe getting his ass. He got knocked out in the first fight. Yeah. I remember him losing 85% of the second fight, and then he lands that body shot that obviously hurts DC. And all the credit in the world to Stipe. As soon as he lands it, boom, he throws another and another. Then he goes upstairs. I mean, he like the whole fucking fight, turned on a dime. Mm-hmm. Like if that don't happen again, it seems like DC's the better boxer. Seems like he's got heavier hands, punch for punch. He's definitely the better wrestler. Like unless something goes terribly wrong, I feel like not only is DC going to win, but I low-key feel like he's going to walk through Stipe, man.
Possible, man.
And that's the thing, Fred. Like in those two fights, you saw Stipe. He was never like defeated, right? Like he was looking for the opportunities, and in that second fight, when the opportunity presented itself, he jumped on it, right? Like perfectly executed. What we see in a lot of fighters, right, where they hesitate. They don't want to pull the trigger because they're not sure if the person's really hurt, faking. Like Stipe is badass in the sense that, like, he just lets everything flow off of him. That's the only thing that I think makes this fight so interesting, because Stipe has that ability to just go, all right, like I got beat up for these rounds. It's the fifth round. I'm still in this fight. Like he's never out of the fight.
Right. All right. What else we got here in the comment section? I can't understand a damn word when Stipe talks, so I'd rather have DC win. Jesus. I want Stipe to win, more money for new firefighters engine. Like, you got to hand it to him, man. That guy's got 2 full-time jobs. When you put down fires, the more you talk, less oxygen. So he actually learns to talk during interviews. 3.
Well, he's a family man, too. I'm sure that's another job in itself.
Yeah, he's the first time. DC said he's over the whole John Jones thing. Yeah, he'll say that till they show him a check. Let's see what else we got. Stipe has been more marketable. See his hilarious video on YouTube about extra strength coffee. The guy's funny. He just doesn't. He's got. I don't know what it would be, but he's got a niche of his stuff funny that he would do, and I just wish he would find it and use the goddamn thing. But
to be fair, sometimes that takes a while.
Oh, it takes always.
If y'all remember, man, Anderson Silva really didn't become a massive star until that Vitor Belfort fight. And that was in Brazil, where he was low-key a star. But after the Vitor fight, like sometimes you just have that fight that clicks. Maybe this is the one. Maybe he lands a head kick knockout on DC and something just clicks after this and he goes on and does it. Maybe he never does it. But sometimes it does take a while. I mean, look at Jorge Masvidal. I'm telling you, man, like he's always had this swag. I interviewed Jorge Masvidal fucking 8 years ago on Stand and Bang, and he told a story about getting his fucking car stolen in Miami and fucking chasing the guy down. I mean, he's been a fucking wild man his whole fucking career, but we just now got it and bought into it. Now it takes an impressive performance, say Stipe does that, fucking runs across the cage, boom, fucking, literally same scenario, lands a flying knee and knocks DC out. That shit like that could change it all, Jack.
Yeah. Low key, Stipe should try that shit.
Why the fuck not, right?
He should try that. DC would never see that coming. Let's see. Oh fuck, I lost one. All right, never mind. DC will never be over John Jones. He'll probably fight him at retirement home one day. Who knows? Trying to guess. The strangest fight was Derrick Francis and Derrick, 2 killers but no kill. Yeah, that was weird.
That was definitely a weird one. That was a weird one.
That's the, you know what I think about you talking about what?
One was physically injured, one was mentally injured.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think sometimes it'd be like that though, man. Sometimes you in there with another bear and y'all taste each other's power kind of early, and you're like, you know what, fuck this.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit.
I ain't really trying to take that dirt nap, Jack. Well, you stay away a little, I'll stay away a little, and we'll both, neither one of us really have to get slept tonight. Fuck it.
Yeah. All right. I was gonna say fuck. Oh, about Jorge Masvidal. The thing it took 3 pieces in a soda to get us interested. And it took a fucking flying knee knockout to make him a star. So,
Yeah.
but Fred's right. I listened to the interview way back in the day, and fucking that dude, I knew he was a wild boy. I was like, I remember listening to that. I was like, why isn't this guy a fucking star? He's a great goddamn story.
Yeah, man. He's had that person. It's not like
It just took a while.
It's not like he pulled a Henry Cejudo or a Colby Covington or a Chael Sonnen. That's actually who he is. He's been that his whole career. We just now kind of embraced it properly.
Right. Okay. All right. That does it for UFC 252. That's this weekend, this Saturday, of course. And check your local listings and all that shit. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we get out of here? We've hit an hour. We can talk about anything.
That's it. As far as MMA goes, that's it. Yeah, I mean that we
right.
Look. This is it this weekend. 252 is the big one, Jack. Like that is it. There is nothing more, nothing less. DC fucking Stipe 3.
Did you watch Contender Series yesterday?
No, I didn't. I'd be missing the Contender Series like a motherfucker, Jack.
I rarely watch it, but I've been stuck at home lately, and so it's like I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll watch it. And I was watching it, and they had a stripper fighting this one chick. And I didn't know she was a stripper until during the fight, Paul felt it. Like, chick falls and she gets taken down. And Felder's like, she's no stranger to that position. And it's like, oh god,
I heard that.
That was so good. But I think all the winners yesterday got fucking contracts. There was one cat, I forgot his name. I mean, he said, "Oh, I'd like to. I'm inspired by Jorge Masvidal," and then he went out there and fucking fought like Jorge Masvidal. So I forgot the cat's names. I think he was a Latino kid, but that was dope. I'm definitely gonna be keep my eye out for that cat.
Nice.
Of course, Eddie brings up the Latino kid, right, Fred?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Hey, no, hang on, Jesus, we're on the same fucking team here.
and I never hate on it. I understand. You got to have a fucking team. I don't be mad at it. God damn it. I'd almost look down on you if you didn't root for your fucking Mexican brethren. You better, God damn it.
Yeah, Ness, thank you.
I'm just putting that out here in case Trump wants to deport us, so he could be like, "Oh no, he's one of us."
Okay, whatever.
Calling it out.
They had very like small little piece on Yanez's like life story and shit, but it's inspiring. You should definitely check that out. Congrats on your Suns being defeated. Thank you. It won't fucking matter for shit. Bucks don't win tomorrow and we don't win, because then we don't get into the playing game. Okay. Of course, the Suns wait until it's like in a long, almost impossible shot to get in the playoffs to fucking play well. I'm here for it. Okay. Fucking Devin Booker. I fuck everybody that wants to trade for him. Suck a dick. You guys need to give us everything and all your draft picks to even have a chance to take Devin Booker. Fuck that. If the Suns trade him, I'm done with this fucking team if they do that bullshit. All right. If we got nothing else, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for us. Be happy that's happening. Okay? Because college football is almost all out. It's almost gone. Pac-12, Big 10. Big 12 is apparently, fucking on the rocks of what the fuck's going to happen. It's craziness with college football.
Real talk, it's been a real good time to be an MMA fan, baby.
Hell yeah.
We have had our top-notch promotion in full swing this whole time. And, this card this weekend might not be fucking great, but it's real fucking good. And it's still a motherfucking worldwide pandemic going on. So you're right, man. Fucking, we should kiss our lucky stars that we are about to get these quality of fights this weekend. Real talk.
Yeah, tell your friends that don't watch MMA or don't like it or call it bullshit. I don't want to watch this, whatever, and that they're waiting for football or they're enjoying watching their baseball team cancel fucking entire series because they can't goddamn stay clean and shit. Tell them to go fuck themselves. Okay, all right, that's gonna do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate the fuck out of every single one of you guys for watching. And of course, all the social medias and everything there. Shout out to Sports Nut Head Kick. Kyle is here. Robert Xerxes, of course, is always coming in, hanging out in the comment section. My brother Brando was here. I know Raider was here early. Otis, Who else we got? Everyone that tuned in, you guys are dope as shit. We appreciate the fuck out of every single one of you guys. Everyone on Sportscaster, everyone on Twitter, Periscope, and on Facebook as well. You guys are dope. Liam, I saw you. Appreciate it, man. And Aaron, of course, out in Texas. Shout out to, of course, represent repwarriors.com. And oh shit, of course it fucking did that to me. Hang on. There we go. And spicypros.com. You guys are dope. Catch you guys next week for the Monday night hangout and then Wednesday night for Keyboard Warriors Live. You guys are dope. For myself, Fred Kirby, just good night and good night, Wilshire.